Hello YouTube, what's up? My name is Ellie. Welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time watching, hi. I'm a non-binary trans guy, for lack of a better word. I've been taking testosterone for the last 3 years and documenting my journey with gender. And it's been wild. It's been a wild ride. Lately, I have finally decided to act on my deep-seated want to get top surgery. So I looked into funding. It turns out I'm gonna have to pay it out of pocket. So I opened a GoFundMe with the objective of reaching 5,000 euros. And oh my god, you people pulled it off in like less than 2 weeks. I mean, it's crazy. Most of it is donations from home, people who know me face to face, family and friends. But then surprisingly, I'm not a small number of people from the channel dropping by GoFundMe, leaving a donation, saying things like amazing things like "Thank you for putting your journey out there. Your videos really helped me understand who I am," or imagine my own transition. Or someone even wrote that I gave them permission to start transitioning, which is a mind-boggling position to be in for me because when I started out, there was nobody doing this. Like, there was some people doing it, but it was so few and far between. And I remember like the intense gratitude that I felt towards these people, and it's kind of like I'm one of them now. It's awesome. I'm so happy to have helped anyone at all, and I'm so grateful to be on the receiving end of like this kind of huge help, like donations to the GoFundMe, because there's basically not a lot of other options for me out there. So two things that are going to happen is I'm going to begin looking for like seeing surgeons and asking about procedures, and the second one is that I have raised the goal a little bit towards 6,500, where it could include some of like the top range surgery prices, so I don't actually have to go by prices. I can just choose the surgeon I want. And then theoretically, it would be wonderful to be able to pay extra costs, such as having someone from home fly here to be with me when I get the surgery and take care of me in the first 2 weeks, and have them fly here and stay here without having to pay it themselves, which is, it's a lot of money, and I can't really ask like my friends and family to just pay it out of pocket to come be with me, because it's not like a vacation. You're gonna be taking care of someone who's like recovering from surgery. So if I can manage to get somebody to be with me, it would be amazing. And then there is like time off work or something like that, because I'm a physical therapist. And I need to be like physically fit in order to take care of patients. This is kind of important. So if I'm with a patient, I can't be partially disabled. I have to be ready to catch them if they fall and to help them up off the floor and do a lot of upper body strength stuff, which means I cannot go back to work until my operation is completely healed. I mean, completely healed. So where most people would take 2 weeks or 3 weeks off of work, I might have to take a month and a half, or if anything goes wrong, maybe even 2 months. So it would be amazing to have like something to sustain me while I'm doing that. And of course, I will be like trying to move stuff to like more online, whatever activities if I could. But it still looks like I'm gonna have to miss a good chunk of my livelihood. So let's talk about surgeons. So there's a few in Barcelona. I've been looking into this, and it's kind of hard to get the information because it's not really listed in a concrete list anywhere. So, or maybe it is. I just don't know how to look for it because I'm not in with the trans crowd around here. I know exactly two trans guys. So one of them got the surgery in a hospital where his mom works. And to be honest, I'm not freaked about the results. So I wasn't like, let me get that checked out. And then the other guy that I know who is trans, he got a kind of surgery that I'm actually not interested in. But I am going to start by going to his surgeon, because they are a big plastic surgery clinic. So let me talk about that guy. So that guy, who is kind of like my family here in Barcelona, I'm not going to say his name because of privacy, but he got a kind of surgery that was very innovative at the time, where they removed most of the tissue, but not like the breast tissue. They removed it, but they left like the nipple where it was, and they left the excess skin from the breast that has kind of like been reduced. So, by the way, if this wasn't obvious, I'm going to be talking about procedures, incisions, recovery, surgery. If this is not for you, please don't watch, okay? Like, take your precautions, and if surgery talk makes you, then save yourself. That kind of, why? Okay, so my friend got, this is a kind of surgery that I don't want to get, by the way. So he got like the breast tissue removed with an incision around the nipple, and then I think it was, or maybe it was to the side of the breast. Anyway, he kept all of his original nipple, and he kept most of the skin. Now he has full sensation, and for him that's great, because in his self-definition, that's something that he feels comfortable with, having the excess skin and the original nipple. Now, for me, I really don't want that, because I have a lot of excess skin, because I used to have like fairly nicely developed breasts. Like, I used to have a C cup when I was growing up. And I didn't have to wear bras and everything. And the second thing is I have kind of a skin fold. So the more skin you have, and the more ptosis. Ptosis is like the medical terminology for the sagging of the breasts with age, which for me started out very early. Like, basically as soon as I got breasts, they begin to like sag. And I used to think like, this is why I don't like them. Not exactly. So when you have sagging, which for me were like level 3 ptosis, which is what the surgeons that I saw in Israel gave me. And I might talk about the Israeli surgeons in a minute. So for me, any kind of surgery that would leave the skin, I would still have a skin fold. So that's not a result that I'm looking for. Like, I kind of want the most cis-looking chest, like the flattest it can get, right? And the second thing about surgeries that leave the nipple intact is that the nipple tends to be like larger and more towards the middle, which is more of a feminine characteristic. Now, this is not to say that there are no men out there with bigger nipples who are kind of like more to the center of the chest, but it's not the typically male feature. This, by the way, is what I have for breakfast. It's amazing. It has like fruit and nuts and protein and oatmeal. It's great. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, so what I'm looking into would probably be a double incision with nipple graft, which are the kinds of surgeries where the breast is cut open, the tissue is removed, and then like the skin fold is sewn back so that it is tight. And then there is another circle made for the nipple to be inserted, and then the nipple itself is like cut so it's smaller and inserted where the surgeon wants it, which is called a free nipple graft. What does this mean? It means that you lose a lot of sensation, if not all, in the nipple. And it means that there is a chance of the nipple not catching, like the nipple not healing and sort of rotting off, even though I have personally never seen this happen, but they do kind of make you sign a paper that it can happen. And then the scars themselves are much longer. Now, the thing for me about this kind of surgery, I'm fine with not having full or any nipple sensation, because to be honest, it's not a huge thing for me right now. It never has been. But I really, really care about the scars. And the thing I care about the scars is not so much them being visible or not visible, because I already have a big scar in my body and I know what it's going to look like. So I've had back surgery, and this is my scar. Like, you can see this line here. This is 7 years ago. Yeah. So I already know what a scar is going to look like on my body, and I'm not worried. The thing is, if I end up with 2 scars like that on my chest, I'll be fine. The thing I really, really care about is the shape of the scars. So I've seen some surgeon do shapes that I'm just not okay with. Like some of them do like a C shape or like a bit of a cupped shape, which is it kind of looks. I know some people have that, and I really don't want to offend anyone, but for me personally, it is so reminiscent of the shape of the breast that it's just dysphoric in its own right. And then there are the downward looking cuts, like who start at the middle and then kind of go downwards towards the armpits, which are kind of like the same line as a rib cage, right? Like downward looking stripes. I dislike those because they kind of make me feel like when I'm just wearing a t-shirt without anything. So because my breasts already look downwards, like they're already sagging, if I don't have a bra on, then the fabric would make this kind of folding. Like it would wrinkle this way. And to me, that's also like very reminiscent of what a breast looks like, and I'm just not cool with that. And again, I know some people have those kinds of scars and they're very happy with it, they're very content. More power to them. I'm not saying those are bad scars. I'm saying that for me personally, they will trigger dysphoria. So I'm not going to get an operation which then leaves me with dysphoria. Okay, so what am I okay with? What do I actually want to get? Now, this is key for me. I really want to get like straight scars, which kind of like resemble the pec muscle line, or the opposite diagonal, which goes down from the axilla, like from the armpit, towards the xiphoid, towards the end of the sternum. So like something, a line like this would be fine because for me, it's like the same direction as the muscle fiber. When you lift your arm, it kind of looks like a part of the muscle that I think is more like cis looking. And I would be happy to have scars that are a little bit diagonal or that are completely straight. For me, the scars would not have to go too far into the armpit because I really don't have a lot of fat tissue around here. So it would basically just be under the breast itself, or, well, actually right now it would be over it. So I really want to get like the smallest nipples that I can. I don't care about sensation so much. And yeah, I would like to just very quickly mention the surgeons that I did see in Israel, because for a moment there when I was visiting Israel, it looked like I could get it funded and done there. And then like all the hokey pokey started with them shutting down the airport, and it became very clear to me that if I choose to have the operation in Israel, it is quite likely that I won't be able to go back to Barcelona, and that my visa might expire while being in Israel, and therefore my plans for the future go to shit. So I decided that I can't be around Israel, like I can't stay in Israel long enough to get the surgery, even if I were to get it funded there. So that kind of sucked. But in the meantime, I was able to see 3 surgeons, and they both said pretty much, like all 3 of them basically said the same thing. They said, you have good pectoral development, which means whatever. That was so flattering. Oh my God. One of them said, highly developed pec muscle. And I was like, oh, I mean, it's not highly developed. It's just not completely underdeveloped. But it felt really good. So they said because the pec muscle is developed, any kind of procedure is going to look okay because the surgeon is going to be able to like know where the nipple has to go. So let me just quickly show you guys what I'm talking about. So, hit my nose with the zipper. So this is the breast, right? And this is the pec muscle. So if you can see the pec line around here, this is where the nipple should be. And this is where it is right now. So we want to go up here. So for a surgeon, if I can do this and he can take his little pen and kind of scribble over me before the surgery, it's a lot easier for them to later guess where the nipple should be. Like you see, the nipple is right here, and we want to get it up here, you know? 2/3 of the clavicle, which is, right now it's more in the middle. We want to get a little bit more to the side and put it on the pec line or just over the pec line, and we went as small as possible. So for me, like, the smallest possible is not going to be that small because I do have kind of large nipples anyways. So I'm going to get what I'm going to get, but it's going to be better than what I have now. So that's cool. Yeah, if you want to go back to like videos that I have been less time on T and I'm wearing like a sports bra so you could get like a better idea of what my breasts actually look like, then you're welcome to, but I don't feel like putting on a sports bra for this particular video. Also, I'm feeling kind of chubby today, so I'm not going to spend too much time with my shirt off. Okay, so that's basically what the surgeon said about like the kinds of incision and the nipple that I would be able to have. All three of them told me that I could have like the downwards going incision that I asked for, or at least the horizontal one, and that I don't have to get like the downward slanting one, which I really don't want. And then I was offered something called a buttonhole by one surgeon, which the buttonhole, what it means is that they don't actually cut the nipple all the way through. They kind of like leave it attached to a nerve, and then when they cut a hole, they kind of push the nipple from inside out, kind of like you're pushing a button through a flap. Kind of like if this was the hole they had cut in, where is it? Damn it. Okay, so imagine this is the skin, and then they cut a hole, and then they push the nipple from under it, and then they kind of sew it into place, which allows you to keep like more sensation in the nerve, but it does actually require that the surgeon leave a little bit of breast tissue. Now, if the surgeon leaves breast tissue, it can grow again, or it can grow a malignant tumor, like any breast tissue can. And for me, like, both of these things are really not... No, I don't want to have any breast tissue left, and I don't really feel like I deeply need the sensation in the nipple. And the idea of being able to get, like, malignant tumor in the breast that you've had removed is just so cynically ironic that I don't know. But it's more about the breast being able to come back if you gain weight or have a hormone imbalance or anything like that. It's like, no, I'm not doing this again. Like, I'm not removing my breasts so they can grow again so I can remove them again. Like, no, I want this one and done. So that's that. That was the buttonhole, which I've been told that I might be able to get. But also the buttonhole, you have to understand that the incision might be a little bit lower, like more like mid-torso and less like under the breast, which I'm also not aesthetically fond of. So, why do it? I'm pretty sure I could get good results with a double mastectomy, and that's just what I'm going for. Okay, now I kind of want to like touch on why I wanted top surgery to begin with. I might do it in a different video because this is pretty long already. Alright, let's do it in a different video.